Have you ever started something with full excitement? A new gym routine, a reading habit, waking up early, learning a skill, and for the first 3, 4, maybe 5 days, you were on fire. You told your friends about it, you felt like a different person already. And then one day you missed it. Just one day. Maybe you were tired, or something came up, or you just didn't feel like it. And that one missed day turned into 2, then a week. Then, quietly, without even a proper goodbye, the whole thing just disappeared. And a few weeks later, you're scrolling your phone at 11 p.m. thinking, why can't I just stick to anything? If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something first. This isn't a you problem. It's not because you're lazy, and it's definitely not because you lack discipline. There is a very specific reason your brain behaves this way, and once you actually understand it, staying consistent stops feeling like a fight. Today, we're going to break down exactly why this happens, and then we're going to fix it, step by step, in a way that's simple enough to start using today. Most people, when they fail at a habit, ask themselves the wrong question. They ask, why am I so inconsistent? And their brain, being the helpful little machine that it is, goes searching for an answer, and usually lands on something like, I guess I just don't have willpower, or I'm not disciplined like other people. But here's the thing, willpower was never really the problem. Willpower is like a phone battery. It's strong in the morning and it drains through the day with every decision you make, every distraction you resist, every stressful conversation you sit through. By the time evening comes, most people are running on 5%. But there's another reason willpower fades that most people never think about. Every single day, your brain makes hundreds of tiny decisions. What should I eat? Which email should I answer first? Should I reply now or later? What should I wear? Should I finish this task or start another one? None of these choices seem like a big deal on their own, but together they slowly drain your mental energy. Psychologists call this decision fatigue. The more decisions you make throughout the day, the harder it becomes to make another good one. That's why going to the gym often feels much harder at 8 p.m. than it did at 8 a.m. It's not because you suddenly became lazy. It's because your brain has been solving problems and making choices all day. So by the evening, it's naturally looking for the easiest option available. And most of the time, the easiest option is the couch, not the workout. So if your entire plan for consistency depends on having strong willpower every single day, you've built a plan that's designed to fail. Not because you're weak, but because that's how willpower actually works for every human being on the planet. So the real question isn't, why don't I have enough willpower? The real question is, why did I build a system that depends on willpower in the first place? 2 people, same goal, very different outcomes. Let me give you a picture. Imagine 2 people, both deciding on January 1st that they want to read more books this year. Person 1 sets a goal. I will read 30 minutes every single day. Sounds great on paper. For the first week, it works. But by week 2, life happens. A busy day, a late night, a tired mind. And 30 minutes feels impossible, so they skip it. And here's what happens next, psychologically. The moment they miss one day, something called the what the hell effect kicks in. It's a real studied pattern in behavioral psychology, most famously seen in dieting research, where one small slip makes people think, well, I've already broken it, so what's the point now? And they abandon the whole thing entirely. One missed day becomes permission to quit. Now, person 2. They don't set a goal of 30 minutes every day. Instead, they build something smaller. They decide, every night before I sleep, I open a book and read at least 1 page. That's it, 1 page. On a good day, they read for 40 minutes without even noticing. On a bad day, exhausted, barely able to keep their eyes open, they still read 1 page. 6 months later, guess who's still reading? It's person 2. Not because they had more discipline, not because they wanted it more, but because their system was built to survive bad days, and person 1's system was only built for good days. And let's be honest, most of our days are not good days. Most days are just normal, tiring, ordinary days. So if your habit only works on your best days, it was never going to last. The real reason consistency breaks down. Here's the part most people never get told. Consistency doesn't break because of a lack of motivation. It breaks because of a mismatch between the size of your goal and the size of your actual daily capacity. Think about it like this. Your brain doesn't care how inspired you felt on day 1. Your brain cares about one thing every single day. how much effort is this going to cost me right now in this exact moment? If the cost feels too high, even for one day, your brain will find a reason to skip it. And once skipping becomes an option your brain has used successfully even once, it remembers that option forever. It becomes the easy escape hatch every time things get slightly uncomfortable. This is why huge, ambitious goals. I'll work out for an hour daily. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. starting tomorrow. I'll never eat sugar again. Almost always collapse faster than small, boring, unglamorous ones. Big goals sound exciting when you set them, but they're incredibly fragile the moment real life pushes back. There's also something else working against you, and it's not talked about enough: identity. Every time you say, "I'm trying to become a gym person," or "I'm trying to become a reader," notice the word trying. It keeps you as an outsider looking in. But the people who actually stay consistent for years, they don't think of it as something they're trying to do. They think of it as something they simply are. A runner doesn't debate whether to run today. Running is just part of who they are, the same way brushing their teeth is. There's no negotiation happening in their head because it's not a decision anymore. It's identity. And identity survives bad days in a way that motivation never can. So, how do we actually fix this? Okay, now that we understand why it breaks, let's talk about how to build something that doesn't. First, shrink the goal until it's almost impossible to fail. Whatever your current goal is, cut it down to something so small it feels almost silly. Not work out for an hour, but put on your shoes and do 5 minutes. Not write a chapter, but write 3 sentences. This isn't about staying small forever. It's about removing the daily excuse. On your good days, you'll naturally do more. On your hard days, you still show up. And showing up is what keeps the identity alive. Second, attach your habit to something you already do. This is sometimes called habit stacking, and it works incredibly well because you're not relying on memory or motivation. You're relying on a routine that already exists. After I brush my teeth, I'll do 10 push-ups. After I pour my morning tea, I'll write 1 line in my journal. You're not adding a new decision to your day. You're just extending one that already runs on autopilot. Third, plan for your bad days, not just your good ones. Ask yourself right now, honestly, what does the smallest possible version of this habit look like on my worst, most exhausted day? Decide that in advance, because if you wait until you're actually exhausted to decide, your tired brain will always choose the easiest option, which is usually skipping altogether. Decide the bare minimum now, while you're calm and thinking clearly. Fourth, follow the never miss twice rule. This one might be the most important. You are allowed to miss a day. You're human. Life happens. That's completely fine. What matters is that you never let 2 misses happen back to back. 1 missed day is just life. 2 missed days is the beginning of a new pattern, and your brain forms patterns embarrassingly fast. So if you miss today, the only job you have tomorrow is to show up, even if it's just for 2 minutes. That single action breaks the spiral before it starts. Fifth, track showing up, not performance. Don't measure yourself by how good each session was. Measure yourself only by whether you showed up or not. A simple check mark on a calendar, a habit tracker app, anything visual. Because here's something powerful about the human brain. Once you build a visible streak, breaking it starts to feel more painful than doing the habit itself. You stop doing it because you feel motivated. You do it because you don't want to lose the streak. And that's actually a healthier kind of motivation because it doesn't depend on your mood. So let's zoom out for a second. You're not inconsistent because something is wrong with you. You're inconsistent because most goals are designed around your best possible day, and life simply doesn't give you your best day every single day. The fix isn't to try harder or find more discipline from somewhere. The fix is to build something so small, so attached to your existing routine, and so forgiving of bad days that quitting actually takes more effort than continuing. Start absurdly small. Attach it to something you already do. Decide your bad day minimum right now before you need it. Never let yourself miss 2 days in a row. And track the act of showing up, not the quality of the performance. Do that, and in a few months, you won't be trying to be consistent anymore. You'll just be someone who is.
If this gave you a new way of thinking about your own goals, let me know in the comments what habit you're going to shrink down and start again today. And if you want more of this kind of thinking, breaking down why our minds work against us and how to work with them instead, make sure you're subscribed because that's exactly what we do here. See you in the next one.